We are now taking you to the historic English county of Norfolk, home of the centuries-old estate Houghton Hall. The grounds have been taken over by a striking and expansive art installation. It's called Time Horizon and will be on display through October. Anthony Mason spoke with the man behind it, renowned artist Sir Antony Gormley, at White Cube Gallery here in New York City. But first, he traveled to Norfolk to experience Time Horizon for himself.
One of the most storied and stately homes in Great Britain, Houghton Hall has been fascinating visitors for decades. But the Palladian country house in Norfolk, England, has a new army of guests. 100 iron men scattered across its 300 acres.
Because you identify with them, it somehow enhances the scene around you. It personalises it.
I think it does definitely make you feel that you're glad to be alive. And then it also makes you reflect about your own humanity, doesn't it?
The statues are all facing different ways. You don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to the way that they're facing. It's just made me laugh, the way that some are buried so deep, some are really high.
Which suggests some have been around longer than others.
Yeah, and there may be some that are totally buried that you will never see.
Yeah.
The artist, Sir Antony Gormley.
I want the work to puncture the apparent surface of things and make you think about what underlies everything.
A world-renowned sculptor, Gormley may be best known for his Angel of the North, which looms over a British highway, seen by some 33 million travelers every year. His Iron Men have also stood sentry on a beach near Liverpool, and on the streets and buildings of New York.
Can you just zoom out a little bit?
It took months to install this.
Yeah, it took four and a half months in the wettest February on record.
Houghton Hall was built in 1722 by the man regarded as Britain's first prime minister, Sir Robert Walpole. He was an art lover too and had a world-renowned collection. But by the end of the century, the family had fallen on hard times and had to sell it to Catherine the Great of Russia.
The latest owner, the 7th Marquis of Cholmondeley, commissioned the artist.
I'm amazed that we got away with it, that Lord Cholmondeley was prepared to allow one body form to be dropped to half its height in what is essentially his front room.
Gormley's early inspiration came on a trip to the U.S. as a grad student.
I came to America in 1979. The lightning field had just opened.
He visited Walter de Maria's lightning field in the high desert of New Mexico. 400 stainless steel posts arranged in a mile-wide grid.
It blew your mind.
Totally blew my mind. And that idea that this is not an object, this is a place, this is a field in which present time, first-hand human experience becomes really the subject of the work.
Yeah.
That was a revelation, but also a revolution in how art might work. And you could say that Time Horizon is my act of thanks and respect to Walter's example.
Time Horizon is not a picture, the artist has said. It's a field, and you're in it. It changes with the quality of light, the time of day, and your own state of mind.
I visited Houghton Hall on a late spring day under a turbulent sky when the white fallow deer were wandering amongst Sir Antony's statues.
What's really fascinating is that something still can create an energy with what's around it.
I'm glad you felt that, because I think...
I don't know why, but...
I'm just happy, Anthony, that you said, that you felt that there was an energy, because I think the energy is in you, obviously not in the object so much. Sculpture is a still, silent thing, but if it works, it will make us move. And in moving, maybe think, and in moving, maybe feel.
These iron men are all life-size. Each weighs more than 1,300 pounds. And they were cast from Gormley's own image. But he doesn't see them as self-portraits. He sees them more as shadows.
When Gormley posed for the original moldings himself,
You are in a shell that means you cannot move.
It took them about an hour to cut you out of
It
this.
takes an hour to cut you out, and with any luck, you do all of the putting of the wet plaster on in half an hour.
When you see the figures now, do you think about that at all?
No, I try to forget it. We're so used to art being a reproduction
Yeah.
of the world we already know.
Yes.
I want this to be a place in which you are making the picture.
I was actually frustrated because I couldn't put it in one picture.
My success is your loss. I think it's really, really important that
Yeah.
this is unphotographable. It is, in a way, yes, you can make films of bits of it, but you cannot make, as it were, you can't put it in a can. So, in the end, and maybe it's too much to expect, but in the end, I would like the work to be a kind of catalyst for the reinforcing of first-hand experience, the sense that somehow, there's a miracle about being alive.
Wow, Anthony Mason joins us now from Dublin. And Anthony, through that movement from one to another, it's really a journey of discovery.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly beautiful piece, Michelle. I mean, to get to Houghton Hall, it's about a 3-hour drive from London. We got there late in the day. The sky was threatening, very ominous, and I didn't want to leave. It was wherever you travel on the grounds, and by themselves, they're stunning. You're constantly drawn to these figures on the horizon. It keeps pulling you. It's really kind of breathtaking.
It really is, and like the Pacific Ocean or the Grand Canyon, it's bigger than what fits through the lens of a camera, and so the only way to capture it is by describing it and experiencing it the way you did. That's a really beautiful piece, Anthony.
It really is. Well done.
Took your time, too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Enjoy Ireland.